Hey, what is going on, guys? Lewis here, and I'm going to be showing you guys today what are some good cards to side deck against the Elemental Dragons, which will take the meta by storm. I guarantee it, definitely. By the way, if you guys just want to check out the deck, I did change a few cards. I added in 2 Gold Sarks, and, I think I swapped up some of the little dragons. I'm not sure. But, okay, just going into it, for the monsters first, Christia is a great card uh, that just completely hurts this deck. It pretty much it comes down to whether or not your opponent has Dark Hole. Oh wait, Dark Hole's not in this build. I need to add Dark Hole. Okay, ignore that. So yeah, realistically, if you're playing Elemental Dragons and your opponent has a Christia and you don't have Dark Hole, or if you don't have Blaster with either another Blaster or Burner, you'll lose. I guarantee it, because you won't be able to summon a monster. Christia just completely negates all the summons, and you won't be able to put a monster on board unless you're, setting these guys, and that's never even a good idea. I mean, you can't even gorge at that point, so it just becomes really stressful for you, and you can't make a move. The next is going to be Joel and Lockbird. As you can see, the price in Joel and Lockbird has gone up. The average price is about $8, and I remember back when windups used to be able to do the hand loop. I was picking up this card for like 25 cents because I was a windup player, and when my opponent maxed me, I was like, okay, Joel and Lockbird. Now you can't draw infinite cards, so screw you. But pretty much it prevents your opponent who's playing Elemental Dragons from adding cards from their deck to the hand. And all the Elemental Dragons, when they're banished, you get to add the well, I mean, they'll still be able to get the Wyvern effect because you're not adding from the deck to the hand, right? Is it only from the deck to the hand? Yeah, from the deck to the hand. Your consent for the rest of the turn. Yeah, so you're adding from your banished zone to your hand, so you'll still be able to get Wyvern's effect. Well, they'll be still able to get Wyvern's effect, which is unfortunate, but it can hurt a little bit. Now, honestly, I wouldn't recommend citing in the card against the Elemental Dragons unless you actually needed to. Realistically, this card is like 1,000 times better and more oriented against spellbooks. Spellbooks, they go for like Book of Secrets, and it's like, okay, well, you added a card. I'm just gonna go ahead and Joel and Lockbird you, so when you Divine Judgment, you don't get to get anything. Next, I want to say Fossil Dyna. I think Fossil Dyna is a great card. Overall, it's always been one of my favorite cards. I've side decked it for so many formats already, and everything in this deck pretty much is special summon. Maybe you'll normal summon one of these little guys, or you'll sack for Red Eyes. But aside from Light and Darkness Dragon, everything else is getting a special summon in this deck. So if you set that that Fossil Dyna, when its effect is activated, it's like, oh, okay, well, bye everyone. Assuming they don't have Lad on board, because Lad's just a nasty card. Next is gonna be Maxi. Maxi is just, it's a decent card. They special summon quite frequently. If they do go for the first turn Lad play, like V play, you're gonna end up drawing one from this, one from that, one from Phantom Beastcraft, one from tokens. So you go +3 with Maxi. It's not bad. It gives you more cards to dish out to get over Lad. And I want to say Thunder King. Thunder King, the whole you can't add cards is pretty darn good. And well, I guess that's pretty much it, because the summons are not inherent for the Elemental Dragons, because you have to activate the effect, so they're coming out by their own monster effect, so you can't negate with Thunder King. However, if they do just go for a Mecha Phantom Beastcraft, you can negate that, and that completely that'll pretty much end their turn at that point. Next is gonna be, I'm just gonna throw Summon Breaker. It's a pretty funny card. It's a field spell, and during the main phase 1, when the turn player summons for the 3rd time, it's just summons. So it's normal summon, flip summon, special summon, exceed summon, etc., etc. They just end their turn. This deck, realistically, if they put out 2 monsters, it's just gonna be 2 Elemental Dragons, and if they don't do anything with them, they're gonna bounce back to the hand during your end phase. So I mean, it's either they go for 2 Elemental Dragons, attack, pass, or they go 2 Elemental Dragons, attack, and I guess they can main phase 2 overlay, but you know, at that point it's not even that great anymore. Imperial Iron Wall. Imperial Iron Wall is probably the best card that you can set against this deck, realistically. This card is just amazing. It says cards cannot be removed from play. In order to summon these bad boys, you need to remove cards from play. So if you have Imperial Iron Wall on board, your opponent cannot summon these guys. They can, however, activate the effect of the Little Elemental Dragons and special summon from the deck. Even if they do that, though, they can't do anything with that. Odds are, you know, they're not. I mean, there are times where they'll open up with multiples of these, and they can just special summon 2 from the deck. But realistically, this card just, Imperial Iron Wall, it just completely crushes them. It hurts a lot. Next, I'm gonna throw Mind Crush up on the board. I think Mind Crush is an excellent card, especially against the Mermail matchup, and it's seeing a lot more play in the side deck for the meta. Just because, you know, there's the Mermails that, you know, they go like, oh hey, I'm gonna reveal Megalo. There's spellbooks that have to reveal everything. There's Tenki, which is splashed around everywhere. And now there's this deck, which, you know, adds cards from the deck to the hand. You know, if they go for the, like, I'm going to add Lad with Wyvern, you go, okay, well, I'm going to activate Mind Crush and call Lightning Archmage Dragon. So long to that. If they add, you know, like a banished Elemental Dragon, you can call that. And it gets pretty, you know, hurtful. They end up going minus, you know, 1, sometimes depending on what you hit, you'll hit, you know, multiples of the card, and you know, that's when it gets really devastating. Next, I'm gonna say Mirror of Oaths. I think it's a pretty. I thought it was always a pretty cool card. You know, those rogue times where you see Gladiator Beasts, which, you know, I don't know if it's just me, but I've been seeing them a lot frequently. Like, I'll see like, okay, tournament postings, top 16 Glad. Just like, who plays Glads? But I guess this gets over that. This hurts Rabbit. Any deck that plays Rescue Rabbit, because when they activate the effect of Rabbit, special summon 2 monsters. You can just pop those 2 monsters and draw a card. This is also good against the Little Elemental Dragons that special summon monsters from the deck. So let's say you have Reactin. If you have Reactin, you activate this effect, discarding whatever, and you special summon a Redix. Mirror of Oaths can be activated to destroy Redix, and you get to draw a card. Next, I'm going to say Summon Limit. Summon Limit is a lot better than Summon Breaker. Only thing that's good about Summon Breaker is that it's a spell card. It can be used turn 1. But Summon Limit is just a lot better. So neither player can summon more than 2 times per turn. Like I said, if this deck only has 2 summons per turn, it cannot do anything at all. At most, it can drop, you know, 2 Elemental Dragons, but then it can exceed. This card, I don't know why this card is still at an average of 25 cents. This card should be more expensive at this point in the game. I realistically think that this card should be at least, you know, somewhere around like $3. Imperial Iron Wall, average $4. If you have Iron Wall and you have this, like, you win straight up. There's no way they can ever get over that, unless they have Heavy, in which case you have Scarlet Road. It's cool. I win anyway. I'm gonna say Torrential Tribute is an excellent card. I don't have Bottomless on this because I don't think Bottomless is that great against the deck. Because you banish the monster and they're like, okay, well, now that he's banished, I'll activate his effect to add a card. Torrential Tribute, if you play it right and you know what you're doing, you can always go plus off of it, and you can just disrupt their play extremely. Play disruptors are really good in, against the deck. A card that I kind of want to have here, but I don't have space for it, is because it's, you know, it's not that great, but it's okay. A card like Book of Moon. Book of Moon's pretty good. I guess you can use Book of Eclipse if you want them to plus, but, you know, I mean, some guy did that to me, and I was having such trouble getting over that. You know, just play disruptors are just really good if they, you know, flip a monster face down. Compulsory Evacuation Device is another good card. Just, you know, things like that of that sort. I was trying to think of the other one, the other compulsory device that, you know, you bounce back 2 monsters. I don't know. Next is Crimson Blader. Crimson Blader, as you can see, I have it in my extra deck because it's just such a good card against the mirror match. So its effect is, if this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, your opponent cannot normal or special summon level 5 or higher monsters during their next turn. And it has 2800 attack. So let's say they have, like, I don't know, Big Eye or Mecha Phantom Beast Draco Sack. If you get over that monster, they can't summon at all, pretty much. If you look at the deck, they just cannot summon anything. Next, I'm gonna say Ophion. Ophion is a pain in the ass. Um, they have this card on board. If you don't have Dark Hole, or if you don't have, the Blaster Burner, same thing as Christia, you can't get over it. You just auto lose at that point. I'm gonna say Shockmaster is a decent card if you can first turn it. If you can't first turn it, then don't go for it at all, because unless you have like Dark Hole and then you go Shockmaster. Just because if you call monster effects, the deck can't summon anything, and because all these guys aren't inherent to come out through monster effects. So if you call monster effects, they can't summon anything, and pretty much that's what you want to make the deck not be able to. If the deck can't summon, the deck can't win. At least in this deck anyway, because they just can't do it. And finally, I'm going to say Steel Storm Roach is an okay card. It's probably the easiest of the Exceeds to make just because there's any 2 rank 4s. And you just get to pop every level 5 or higher monster that would be special summon. So, they go like, okay, I'm going to go activate this effect to ditch this, to summon this, and you're like, alright, pop it. And they're like, okay, fine, you know what, I'll activate this effect in my hand, and I'll summon this. And you're like, alright, well, I'll pop that too. At best, at that point, at best they'll have is maybe the option to get out another Elemental Dragon, assuming they have more dragons in their hand. But realistically, if you get rid of 2 Elemental Dragons on their turn, it's going to be a lot harder for them to do anything, because this deck is literally lad. It's pretty much like what Frog Monarchs are with Monarchs, but with Vlad. So I hope you guys learned a little bit about the deck. If you guys have any suggestions as to what to decide, please let me know in the comment section below, because I, like the rest of you, will have to deal with this deck being played against me. And this deck is dirty. Realistically, it's just a difficult deck to take care of. It's hard as nails to friggin' get over, especially if they go first. First turn, if they go, I mean, there's not much that you can do except exhaust everything to try to get over it. So, I wish everyone luck in the future with all their die rolls, and hopefully you all get, 6s and they get 1s. That's pretty much as best I can say it. If they get a 6, man, and you get a 1, just might as well, like, give them the game at that point. So, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later.